these are considerations, but what is important is the prime consideration. These are all considerations, and they are relevant, because after all, people have to survive. We don't want our daughter to be, scrapping in the streets. We want them to be happy. Yes? But all of these concerns, education, earning power, and so forth, they're only to facilitate the purpose of life. And that's the most important priority. In Srimad Bhagavatam, the lessons are often taught in very, very clear and extreme ways to teach us. Yes? Factually, Devhuti lived for years and years and years as an ascetic. Yes, happily. And she was satisfied ultimately within her heart because she knew she was on the path back home, back to Godhead. But at the same time, she had that motherly instinct. She wanted a child. Yes? But do you think that an ordinary woman who wants an ordinary child, God is going to appear within her womb? Her desire for a child was devotional service. Krishna says in Gita, sex life, to procreate God-conscious children, he is not different than that act. That is devotional service. So Devhuti's intention was service to the Lord. And therefore Kadambha Muni, when he built that beautiful, incredible aerial mansion, it was all to facilitate his wife's devotional service. So yes, Srimad Bhagavatam teaches things very, very, because we're dealing with very extraordinary personalities. But the lessons must be understood in such a way that they apply to our level. Obviously, there's not too many Kadambha Munis on the planet today who can do that. There's not that many Devhutis or Kadambha Munis today. But just because we can't be like that, it doesn't mean we can't learn from what they're trying to teach us. Sukadev Goswami extracted those episodes in history that are for the ultimate welfare of humanity to learn from. Munaya saduprishtoham bhavadbir lokamangalam yatkrita krishna samprashno yenatma suprasidati. The whole Bhagavatam, every narration is glorious because the message is for the ultimate welfare of all living beings. And therefore we must learn from Guru of Parampara. And Prabhupada in his purports is teaching us what is relevant to apply to our life from this incredible story. Yes? And what is it? Prabhupada is explaining here that our priority should be self-realization. Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Human life is meant for self-realization. And therefore every consideration should be to facilitate self-realization. Actually, this is many other marriages we find in Bhagavatam where they do astrologies and they marry queens to or princesses to other great kings. So they're considering everything. They're not always sending their daughters to the jungle. But many do. Even Daksha. Daksha is not all that popular in the Bhagavatam. He's made some aparads. But he was a spiritual person. He believed in some karma kandas, And he didn't like Narada Muni taking all his sons away. You know the story. He had so many sons. But he did not want them to get married until they performed years and years of tapasya, because human life is meant for self-realization. He knew that. He could have immediately got him married, but no, you go out and you perform tapasya and you become spiritually advanced, then you marry and take over, the obligations of the state. But Narada Muni met them out in the forest and told them, "You're doing very nice as brahmacharis. Why do you want to change your mind and get trapped in all these things?" So they became brahmacharis. Daksha was not happy with that. So he had another set of sons. And he told his sons, "Don't go near Narada Muni." And sure enough, Narada Muni appeared and said, "Your brothers are doing very nice. You should follow in your footsteps of your brothers." So they also became brahmacharis. So Daksha was so angry. He actually cursed Narada Muni. He said, "You don't understand. Unless people enjoy materialistic life to their satisfaction and get burned out through the process of gradual elevation, they can't renounce properly. You are cheating our sons. You are destroying the principles of religion by taking these young people and giving them renunciation." He cursed Narada. You can't stay in any one place. And then after that, he only had daughters, because he knew Narada Muni wouldn't do anything like that. But then Daksha, he regretted what he said to Narada Muni, but still he only had daughters. But then he married his daughters to great rishis, not to kings, to rishis, because he knew that was good for them. Ultimately, he was searching for self-realization. He was just karmakanda, influenced by materialistic consideration. But there are so many other examples also. So what's really important for a parent is to create an environment where a child could be happy on the path back home, back to Godhead. That is the greatest love and compassion that we can offer. And that is what we could learn from this wonderful story.
You were listening to Radhanath Swami on devotionalnectar.com.